Hello, Chris Birch here. I was going to talk to you guys about some of the changes, some of the improvements for the new KTM 1290 Super Adventure R. So it's an all new model for KTM. You can't really talk about a 160 horsepower motorbike without talking about the engine first. KTM have obviously increased the power, increased the torque, and given it another 100cc. They've done that by going to a longer stroke motor and a bigger bore. And they've also added some more weight to the crankshaft. So you've got a bit more sort of flywheel effect on the bike compared to the 1190, which it makes it quite a bit smoother, a bit more linear off the bottom, more traction, and a little bit less rowdy than the 1190. Other big improvements they've made, probably the next big one is the shock. So they've gone to a true PDS shock now, a dual piston shock. So that gives you much more progression through the stroke. The suspension, the dampening force really ramps up as you get towards the bottom of the stroke. So you get less bottoming, less wallowing through the travel, but still a nice, plush, smooth ride that makes it easy to eat up the kilometers. On the front end, on the fork, they've gone to a heavier fork spring and different settings. So it's not a completely new fork, basically just they've taken another look at it and made it more suitable for off-road riding. They've gone to stronger rims in the front. So I've been playing around in the desert here for nearly 1,000 kilometers, and I haven't done any real damage to the wheels. On the old bike, the rims would have looked like 50-cent pieces by now. So the new rims are significantly stronger. What else you got? It's kind of hard there's so many new things. The Tft Display, so it's a digital dash now, and it's pretty cool. It does everything they say it does. No glare, so obviously here in the desert we've got a lot of background light. It's the sort of thing that makes these screens hard to see normally, and no problem at all. There's been times where the light's been so bright that I can't really see my GPS, but I've been able to see the dashboard really clearly the whole time, so that's pretty cool. And you've got connectivity now with your phone, so if you have the Bluetooth in your helmet as well, you can listen to music and answer your phone and see who's calling you and that sort of thing as you're riding along. And that's all controlled through the switches, so no need to take your hands off the bars. We've got a bit more adjustability, so you've got an adjustable gear lever now, so you can move it back and forth for bigger and smaller feet. What else? There's a lot of things to talk about. Cruise control. It kind of seems a bit dumb to start off with, but then, you know, countries like New Zealand and Australia where the speed limit's quite enthusiastically enforced, it can be a good way of preserving your license between the fun parts. So it's a nice little addition. They've got the wireless key now, so the KTM Race On system as they call it. It's actually really good. For me, like with adventure bike gear, there's 1,000 pockets. Every time I come up for a ride, I'm like, oh, my key's here somewhere, and I can never remember where I've put it. And now it doesn't matter, as long as it's somewhere with you in your backpack, in your gear somewhere, you're good to go. And you don't need the key to open the fuel tank anymore, so you don't need to turn the bike completely off and mess around with that. So there's yeah, I think that's kind of the main big things for now. And basically, like from a riding point of view, it's taken everything that made the 1190 really cool and improved on that. More power, but smoother power, more traction, more control, much improvement to the suspension, so you have more confidence off-road, and all the electronics and the gadgets are all really cool, and they work really well. So I'm looking forward to spending more time on this big girl.